Are you tired of feeling like your life is a series of endless tests, a constant evaluation of your body that always seems to come up short? Tired of the monthly weigh-ins that dictate your mood, the food diaries that feel more like a log of your failures than your triumphs, and the constant, nagging feeling that you are doing everything you are supposed to be doing, yet your body remains a painful mystery, a landscape of symptoms you can't seem to navigate? This feeling, this exhaustion that settles deep in your bones, is a heavy burden to carry. Good news, and it is truly profound news rooted in ancient wisdom, is that the path to finding balance with polycystic ovary syndrome is not about adding more tests, more rules, or more pressure. It is about gently and with great compassion, letting go of the tests that are causing you unseen harm. The path forward is one of subtraction, not addition. In today's video, we are going to walk a different path together, one guided by the quiet wisdom of monks, a perspective that honors the deep connection between your mind, your spirit, and your hormones. We will reveal the top 5 healthy tests that so many women with polycystic ovary syndrome are encouraged to take on. Tests that, from a place of love and the desire to heal, may actually be hurting your hormones more than helping them. This is about understanding the subtle ways that our pursuit of health can become a source of stress that fuels the very imbalance we are trying to correct. So stick around. I invite you to settle in, take a deep breath, and allow yourself to be open to a new way of seeing your journey, because you don't want to miss these life-changing insights that could fundamentally shift your relationship with your body and your path to healing. Before we get started, I'd love to know where you're joining me from today. Drop a comment below and feel free to ask any questions you have, because this is a space of community and shared experience. And don't forget to hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications so you never miss a health-boosting tip from our sanctuary of wellness here at Sacred Women's Health. First, let's talk about the most common and perhaps the most damaging test we put ourselves through, the one that governs our kitchens and our minds with an iron fist. It is so important to first understand why we gravitate towards these tests, these rigid structures and systems of control. It is not a weakness, nor is it a flaw in your character. It is a very human response to feeling lost and powerless. When your body sends confusing signals, from unpredictable cycles to persistent fatigue and frustrating weight gain, it is completely natural to seek out a map, a set of rules that promises a clear destination. The world of wellness often provides these maps in the form of strict diets, intense workout regimens, and meticulous tracking apps. They offer a sense of agency, a feeling that if you just follow the plan perfectly, you will find the solution. You are trying so hard because you care so deeply about your well-being. It is a testament to your strength and your unwavering desire to heal. But what we often don't realize is that the pressure of these tests, the constant striving for perfection, can become a significant source of chronic stress. And for a body already navigating the delicate hormonal imbalances of polycystic ovary syndrome, this added stress is like pouring fuel on a fire. It triggers a cascade of cortisol, our primary stress hormone, which can disrupt ovulation, worsen insulin resistance, and encourage the very symptoms you are working so diligently to alleviate. You are not alone in this experience. Thousands upon thousands of women are caught in this same cycle, believing they are failing when, in reality, the system they are following is failing them. This is a space of emotional safety and deep compassion. Here, we acknowledge your struggle, we validate your efforts, and we gently guide you toward a path that is built on self-kindness rather than self-discipline. We are preparing you for solutions that nurture your body and soul, rather than punishing them. The first and most pervasive test we must learn to release is what we can call the test of the empty plate, the relentless pursuit of hormonal harmony through extreme dietary restriction. This is the world of cutting out entire food groups, of counting every single calorie with religious fervor, and of living in a state of constant vigilance against any food deemed bad or impure. It comes from a good place, a desire to nourish the body and remove anything that might be causing harm. We are told that discipline is the key, that a clean diet will lead to a clean bill of health. We see stories of transformation and believe that with enough willpower, we too can achieve that result. But for a woman with polycystic ovary syndrome, this approach can become a profound form of self-sabotage. When the body perceives restriction, especially drastic cuts in calories or carbohydrates, it doesn't understand that you are trying to heal. It understands only one thing: famine. This perceived threat triggers a powerful stress response. Cortisol levels surge, and the body, in its infinite wisdom to protect you, clings desperately to every ounce of energy. It slows down your metabolism and ramps up cravings for the very high-energy foods you are trying so hard to avoid. This isn't a failure of your willpower. It is a biological imperative for survival. This state of internal stress directly worsens the core issues of polycystic ovary syndrome. Cortisol disrupts the delicate communication between your brain and your ovaries, potentially hindering ovulation. It also signals the liver to release more glucose into the bloodstream, making the already challenging issue of insulin resistance even more difficult to manage. So while you are meticulously crafting a perfect plate, your internal environment may be becoming more chaotic and inflamed. Can eating this food daily really help reduce your symptoms? Or rather, can this constant mental battle with food truly heal you? The answer, with deep certainty, is no. True healing comes not from restriction, but from abundance. It comes from trusting your body, not fighting it. The practical application of this wisdom is to shift from a mindset of dieting to one of deep nourishment. Instead of focusing on what to take away, focus on what you can add. How can you add more vibrant, fiber-rich vegetables to your plate? How can you incorporate more healthy fats from sources like avocados, nuts, and seeds to help balance your hormones and keep you feeling satisfied? How can you ensure you are eating enough lean protein to stabilize your blood sugar? This is about building a plate that is colorful, joyful, and generous. It is about learning to listen to your body's true hunger signals, distinguishing them from the frantic cravings born of restriction. It means eating when you are hungry and stopping when you are full, a simple practice that can feel revolutionary in a world that has taught us to ignore our own internal wisdom. This approach removes the stress, the guilt, and the shame, and replaces it with peace and trust, creating an internal environment where your hormones can finally begin to find their rhythm. But that's just the beginning. Releasing the grip of food control is a monumental first step, but the next test is even more insidious because it cloaks itself in the language of empowerment and self-awareness. May I ask you something personal? How many times have you felt utterly alone on this journey, trying to explain your invisible struggles to others, only to be met with confusion or unhelpful advice? How often have you felt like no one around you could possibly understand the deep frustration of living in a body that feels like it is working against you? I know how much that hurts, and I want you to know with every fiber of my being that you are not alone in this fight. This feeling is real, it is valid, and it is shared by a silent sisterhood of women across the globe. If this resonates with you, if you feel this ache of isolation, please leave a comment below simply saying, "I understand this struggle." Write exactly that. Your message, your simple act of solidarity, might be the very thing that gives strength to another woman who is scrolling through these comments late at night, feeling desperate for a sign that someone, somewhere, truly gets it. Your voice has the power to build a bridge and remind her that she is not alone. The second test that we must gently set aside is the test of the endless scroll, the illusion of control that we seek through the obsessive tracking of every symptom, every data point, and every fluctuation in our bodies. This often begins as a well-intentioned effort to understand our own patterns. We download apps to track our cycles, our moods, our sleep, our weight, our basal body temperature. We believe that by gathering enough information, we can crack the code of our polycystic ovary syndrome, find the hidden correlations, and finally seize control. We become data scientists of our own biology, poring over charts and graphs, looking for answers in the numbers. This practice feels proactive. It feels responsible. But over time, it can subtly transform from a tool of awareness into a source of profound anxiety. Every morning becomes a referendum on our progress. The number on the scale can either grant us a fleeting moment of joy or cast a dark shadow over our entire day. An unexpected temperature spike or a delayed ovulation on our chart can send us into a spiral of worry and self-doubt. We stop living in our bodies and start living in the data that represents them. This constant state of hypervigilance, of monitoring and measuring, is another powerful trigger for the body's stress response system. It keeps our nervous system in a low-grade state of fight or flight, constantly on alert for the next problem or deviation from the plan. This is the antithesis of the calm, parasympathetic state that is so essential for hormonal balance and healing. Can knowing more about your body really be a bad thing? The wisdom lies in understanding the difference between information and obsession. Knowledge becomes a cage when it is not balanced with wisdom and intuition. The constant analysis disconnects us from our body's innate intelligence. We stop listening to the gentle whispers of fatigue or the true call of hunger because we are too busy listening to the loud demands of the app or the spreadsheet. The alternative path is one of mindful body awareness. This is a much softer, more intuitive approach. It involves checking in with yourself each morning, not with a thermometer or a scale, but with a simple, compassionate question. How do I feel today? It means paying attention to your energy levels, the quality of your sleep, your emotional state, and your digestive comfort. You might choose to keep a simple journal, noting these feelings not as data points to be judged, but as gentle messages from your body that can guide your choices for the day. If you feel tired, perhaps it is a day for gentle stretching instead of an intense workout. If you feel energized, that is wonderful information too. This practice rebuilds the bridge of trust between you and your body. It teaches you to honor its signals rather than overriding them with external data, creating a foundation of inner peace that is far more healing than any chart or graph. And if this information is resonating with you, if it's offering a sense of relief, take a moment to hit the like button and subscribe so you never miss these gentle reminders on your healing journey. But once we release the need to constantly measure ourselves, we often turn our focus to movement. And it is here, in the realm of exercise, that we encounter the third great and often misleading test. The third test that many of us face, often with the best of intentions, is the test of the sweaty ascent. The belief that the only way to manage polycystic ovary syndrome is through relentless, high-intensity exercise. We are bombarded with messages that intense workouts are the key to weight loss and hormonal control. We see before and after pictures fueled by boot camps and high-intensity interval training, or HIIT, and we believe that we must push our bodies to their absolute limit to see any change. We equate exhaustion and muscle soreness with progress, believing that if we are not completely spent after a workout, we haven't done enough. The mantra becomes go hard or go home, and we apply this punishing philosophy to bodies that are already under a significant amount of internal stress. For many women with polycystic ovary syndrome, particularly those with adrenal dysfunction, this type of intense, high-stress exercise can backfire dramatically. When you engage in a grueling workout, your body floods with cortisol to manage the physical stress. For a system that is already overproducing stress hormones, this is like adding a hurricane to a thunderstorm. This chronic elevation of cortisol can lead to increased inflammation, worsen insulin resistance, and further disrupt the delicate balance of your reproductive hormones. You may find yourself feeling more exhausted than energized, experiencing sleep disturbances, and even noticing that your weight is more stubborn than ever, especially around the midsection. This is your body's cry for help, a signal that the perceived solution has become part of the problem. Is it possible that the very exercise you believe is your greatest weapon against polycystic ovary syndrome could be working against you? For many, the answer is a resounding yes. It is a difficult truth to accept, especially when you have invested so much effort and sweat. But true healing requires us to listen to what our body needs, not what a fitness trend dictates. The path of wisdom here is to embrace the concept of compassionate movement. This means choosing forms of exercise that soothe your nervous system rather than shocking it. Think of activities like gentle yoga, which has been shown to reduce cortisol and improve insulin sensitivity. Consider daily walks in nature, which not only provide physical benefits, but also have a profound calming effect on the mind. Tai Chi, swimming, and strength training with a focus on slow, controlled movements are all wonderful ways to build strength and support your metabolism without sending your stress hormones into overdrive. The goal is to finish your movement session feeling more energized, peaceful, and connected to your body than when you started. It is about celebrating what your body can do, not punishing it for what you think it should be. This shift in perspective is not about giving up. It is about getting smarter and more attuned to your unique physiology. By choosing to move with kindness, you create a powerful healing environment within your body. And as we learn to move our bodies with more compassion, we often look for other tools to support our journey, which leads us directly into the fourth hidden test. The fourth test we encounter on this path is the test of the magic potion, the endless search for the perfect supplement or combination of supplements that will finally solve the puzzle of polycystic ovary syndrome. The world of wellness is filled with promises of quick fixes in a bottle. We read articles and watch videos that champion specific herbs, vitamins, and minerals as the definitive answer. We see influencers with elaborate daily supplement routines and feel a sense of pressure that we are not doing enough if we are not also taking a dozen different pills. We spend our money and our hope on inositol, berberine, Vitex, and a host of other compounds, often without a clear understanding of what our individual body truly needs. Our medicine cabinet begins to look like an apothecary, and our morning routine becomes a complex ritual of swallowing capsules, each one carrying the weight of our expectations for a cure. This pursuit, while born from a deep desire for relief, can become another source of stress and confusion. We worry if we are taking the right dosage, if we are choosing the right brands, if we are combining them correctly. When we don't see immediate or dramatic results, we can feel disheartened and start searching for the next miracle supplement, perpetuating a cycle of seeking external solutions for an internal imbalance. This approach also overlooks the most fundamental truth of healing. Supplements are meant to supplement a healthy foundation, not create one. They cannot compensate for a diet that is lacking in nutrients, a lifestyle that is filled with chronic stress, or a lack of restorative sleep. Does this mean that supplements have no place in a polycystic ovary syndrome healing journey? Not at all. Certain supplements, when used thoughtfully and strategically, can be incredibly supportive. But their power is unlocked only when they are part of a holistic approach that prioritizes the foundations first. The more compassionate and effective path is to focus on nourishment through whole foods before turning to supplementation. Your primary source of vitamins, minerals, and antioxidants should be your plate. Building a diet rich in colorful vegetables, quality proteins, healthy fats, and high-fiber carbohydrates creates a symphony of nutrients that work together in ways that isolated supplements cannot replicate. It is about creating a strong foundation of health through your daily lifestyle choices. Before starting any new supplement, it is wise to work with a knowledgeable practitioner who can recommend specific tests to identify any true deficiencies you may have. This allows you to supplement with precision and purpose, rather than taking a scattered, hopeful approach. This way, you are using supplements as targeted tools to support your already strong foundation, not as a desperate attempt to patch a crumbling wall. It shifts the power from an external pill back to you and your daily, mindful choices. But there is one final test, perhaps the most subtle and powerful of all, that has nothing to do with food exercise, or supplements. It is the internal test that can silently undo all our other positive efforts. The fifth and final test, the one that operates in the silent spaces of our minds, is the test of the reflecting pool, the constant and painful act of comparing our journey to that of others. In our digitally connected world, we are inundated with images and stories of other people's lives. We scroll through social media and see curated highlight reels of health, happiness, and transformation. We see someone who has seemingly reversed their polycystic ovary syndrome symptoms with ease, someone who has achieved the weight loss we dream of, or someone who is celebrating a pregnancy that feels so out of reach for us. With each scroll, we look into this reflecting pool and see our own perceived shortcomings mirrored back at us. This active comparison is a direct path to suffering. It breeds feelings of inadequacy, jealousy, and despair. It invalidates our own hard work and unique progress, making us feel like we are perpetually behind or failing. This internal narrative is incredibly toxic to our hormonal health. The emotional stress generated by constant self-comparison triggers the same cortisol response as any external threat. It creates a state of chronic inner turmoil that directly undermines our healing efforts. We can be eating the most nourishing food and practicing the most calming yoga, but if our mind is a battleground of comparison, our body will remain in a state of stress. Can looking at another person's success ever truly help our own journey? The ancient wisdom would suggest that it rarely does. Your path is not their path. Your body, with its unique history, genetics, and sensitivities, is not their body. The journey to healing is not a race or a competition. It is a deeply personal, sacred pilgrimage back to oneself. The powerful antidote to this test is the practice of radical self-compassion. It is about learning to turn your gaze away from the reflecting pool of others and focusing instead on your own 2 feet, firmly planted on your own unique path. It means celebrating your own small victories, whether it is choosing a nourishing meal, having a day with more energy, or simply being kinder to yourself in the mirror. It involves unfollowing accounts that trigger feelings of inadequacy and curating your social media feed to be a source of genuine inspiration and support. It is about reminding yourself daily that you are doing the best you can with the knowledge and resources you have. This practice of focusing inward, of honoring your own pace and your own story, is perhaps the most profound healing modality of all. It quiets the nervous system, lowers cortisol, and creates the emotional and physiological safety your body needs to truly heal and find its balance. If you made it this far, it means you are searching for answers, relief, and hope, not just in quick fixes, but in a deeper, more sustainable way. This channel was created exactly for that, to help you understand your body, regain control, and find solutions that actually work by nurturing your entire being. It is about finding the gentle path, the middle way that honors both science and soul. You are not alone here. We are consciously building a safe space where women like you, who are tired of the struggle and the noise, can find support and real information that makes a difference. This is a community founded on compassion, understanding, and the shared belief that healing is possible. If this is the kind of guidance you've been looking for, a place where you can finally lay down the heavy burden of self-judgment and begin a journey of self-kindness, subscribe now and turn on the notifications. Every video is a step toward a healthier, happier you. A reminder that the true path to wellness is paved with grace, not guilt.